Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. K. Pushpam, PDF Assistant Professor in Sociology. Today we discuss about topic social movements, nature of social movement and characteristics or features of social movement. Social movement has a certain natures. What are they? Nature of movement. M.S.A. Rao, one of the prominent Indian sociologists, has made a mention of the nature of social movements in the book Social Movements in India. According to him, social movement includes five characteristics like collective action, oriented towards social change, ideology behind the movement, organizational framework, and the techniques and results. These are the five characteristics. Then there is considerable agreement among the sociologists towards the first two characteristics, and whereas they differ a lot of regarding other three criteria. First one is collective actions. Social movement undoubtedly involves collective action. However, this collective action takes the form of a movement only when it is sustained for a long time. This is collective action need not be formally organized. It could be an informal attempt also, but it should be able to create an interest and awakening in relatively large number of people. Then second one, oriented towards social change. A social movement is generally oriented towards bringing about social change. This change could be either be partial or total. Though the movement is aimed at bringing about a change in the values, norms, ideologies of the existing system, efforts are also made by some other forces to resist the changes and to maintain the status quo. Then third one, ideology behind the movement. An important component of social movement that distinguishes it from the general category of collective mobilization is the presence of an ideology. Example, a student strike involves collective mobilization and is oriented towards change. But in the absence of an ideology, a student strike becomes an isolated event and not a movement. On the contrary, if the strike is committed to an ideology, it may last for longer period and assume the form of a movement. Then fourth one, organizational framework character. As Paul Wilkinson has pointed out that a social movement requires a minimum of organizational framework to achieve success or at least to maintain the tempo of the movement. To make the distinction clear between the leaders and followers, to make clear the purposes of the movement, to persuade people to take part in it or to support it, to adopt different techniques to achieve the goals, a social movement must have some amount of organizational framework. Then last character, the techniques and result. A social movement may adopt its own technique or method to achieve its goal. There is no certainty regarding it. It may follow peaceful or conflicting, violent or non-violent, compulsive or persuasive, democratic or undemocratic means or methods to reach its goal. The same thing is true of the results. It may become successful or it may fail. It may become partial success, or at least it may create a general awakening in the public regarding an issue. The result of a movement has a close bearing on the ideology and the organizational framework. So these are the five character natures of social movement. The next, moving on the topic, characteristics of social movement. The social movement has certain characteristics. What are they? First one is the sense of belonging and group consciousness is very important for a social movement. Such consciousness can be brought about through active participation of the group members. Then, social movements lead to the creation of an entirely new social, economic, and political order. Next, the most of the social movements tend to develop a new set of ideas which become obligatory for the members of the group to adopt and follow. Next, it is obvious that the social movements involve collective actions rather than individual action. Then, social movements may be organized or unorganized. Social movements may be peaceful in nature or they may also turn violent. The aim of a social movement is to bring about or resist social change in the society. Then, the life of the social movement is not certain. This is because it may continue for a long period or it may die out soon. So, these are the characteristics we have a social movement. That's all. Thank you.